So this is at a high level, a component diagram or reference architecture for the technology you're about to see. And where we're going to be focused today is in the middle of that screen where it says Databricks Lakehouse. And we're going to demonstrate an example of bringing in a manufacturing data set, a healthcare data set, and using natural language and AI to gain insights from that data. So go ahead, one more slide. These are a couple of the systems that we have worked with in the past. And really the main point of this slide is if you see something on here that you're using, we have an accelerator for it. If you're using systems that aren't on here, we haven't run into a system that we can't onboard. The technology you're about to see is really good at taking data out of relational databases as well as unstructured data from APIs and other disparate sources. So with that, John, if you could stop sharing, I'm going to take over the screen share here and show you a live walkthrough. So what this is it's a modern architecture known as a lake house, which really in a nutshell combines all the features of a traditional data warehouse with that of a data lake and also extends it beyond that to more advanced use cases around AI and machine learning. So what I've done here is I've just onboarded some sample manufacturing and healthcare data. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up a feature called Genie, which is a generative AI, AI BI feature that exists in Databricks that allows you to start gaining insights using natural language. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to ask it a question about my manufacturing. What are my top 5 selling products in revenue in Canada for the most recent quarter? And pull the top customer for each. Now, what this is doing is it's using generative AI to parse the natural language into database query, execute it, and return the results. So let's just keep going with this. I'm going to ask it a little bit more of a complex question now. What are my largest product decliners globally, and determine if that's driven by channel decliners or customer decliners. Again, it's using AI to parse the natural language and to display the results. So now I can take it a bit further, and what I want to demonstrate here is how this is contextual. I can ask it which customers contributed most to the revenue decline of those largest decliners. I don't have to restate the question that I just asked it. It's iterating over that data set. Okay, and as you can see, it comes back with the top customer. So now I'm going to go out on a limb and ask it a question about data that it doesn't have. What are my top products in nations most exposed to tariffs? So what it's able to do here is, since I don't have tariff data in here per se, but what it's able to do is distill it down to the nations that are most likely to be impacted. In this case, it's China, India, and Brazil. So I can go a step further with it. If tariffs reduce trade in Brazil, what nations are likely to become my top suppliers? It's thinking a little bit longer here, but as you can see, it will come back and it will list out the other nations that are likely to become my top suppliers. So just kind of scratching the surface here on what the capabilities look like. And I also want to point out that, I only brought in data around my manufacturing data, but it's able to leverage the large language model and world intelligence to intelligently respond in a best try as to how tariffs might impact my data. So now I'm going to switch gears a little bit here and go into a healthcare use case, right, where I'm going to use AI to create some dashboards using natural language. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm saying new dashboard. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add data from my data source. And I'm just going to grab some data around claims, my cohort definitions, lines of therapy, and some other healthcare data. And what it's going to do is it's going to execute these queries to bring in the data. It should take a couple of seconds, and then I should be able to start using a dashboard using language to design a dashboard. I'm going to hop over here to my canvas. I'm going to grab a line chart here, and I'm just going to ask it to display my claims by payer type year over year. Again, using the large language model to turn my natural language into a query. And as you can see, it gives me the year over year breakdown and a visualization broken down by the payer type, commercial, Medicare, Medicaid, etc. Let's keep going with this. I'm going to ask it, display my claims by claim type by month. So it's executing a query now, and it's going to return the result set, and it gives me a stacked bar chart of my different claim types by month. Let's go with one more of this. I'm going to ask it to display a monthly trend in commercial claims, and then it comes back with a line chart here. So what I also want to point out here is you can see I've just used 3 natural language questions to build the starting point of this dashboard. I can easily switch these visualizations over here just by a click of a button here. So I can just turn this to a histogram if I want, little less readable, probably more appropriate for a line chart, but you get the idea. It's really self-service BI here using natural language and the AI capabilities that are in this system. A few other things to point out here is the fact that I've got multiple publicly available models and some of the leading models in the industry available to me. You can see I have GPT available to me. I've got Meta LLaMA. I've got Gemini. And they just recently announced a partnership with Anthropic for Claude 4.5 to become available in here. That's not yet in private preview, but it's coming soon. So several of these models are used in the field today, but one thing I want to emphasize here is that this will not train on your data. So that's a key distinction between using like the publicly available ChatGPT. Some other aspects that I want to demonstrate here are publicly available data sets, right? You've got several different categories of publicly available data that you can bring in. Some of these are paid, some of these are free. But that being said, you can augment your enterprise data with several publicly available data sets, all in this single platform here. So with that, I'm just going to jump back into this and revisit what I've been doing here. As you can see, it stores all my chat history, just like the common large language models that are publicly available. So I can easily reference back to these at any point in the future.